Jai Hind, my dear students. Welcome back to Business Studies class. Today we are going to learn the last chapter in Business Studies, class 12. Consumer protection is our chapter, very important chapter, the last chapter. After this, we will start the revision classes. So, you know very well, consumers are the key point in every market nowadays. Today, every business people, they want to satisfy the needs of the consumers and creating their own business ideas and innovative products. Before learning consumer protection, we have to learn about who is a consumer. Any person who buys any goods for a consideration by paying money is known as consumer. It includes any user of such goods with the approval of the buyer, but it does not include a person who obtains goods for resale or any commercial purpose. Consumer is the person who consumes, who is finally consuming that product. Does not include the retailer or wholesaler or any other agent. So, consumer is the person who is finally consuming, who enjoys the consumption of that product. Any person who avails any services for a consideration is also known as consumer. It includes any beneficiary of such services, but it does not include a person who avails such services for any commercial purpose. So, you know very well we are getting in business goods and services. Who produces and business, the manufacturers will produce the product and the consumers are the people who use that. So remember, protection of these people is very important nowadays due to so many malpractices. We have to make aware about the rights of the consumers. For that, we are also as a student, you have to be well aware about the protection of your rights. So please go through all the areas. Don't forget to watch the full video to learn more about the consumer protection as you are also a consumer in this business world. So why consumer protection? Why it is needed? Consumer protection is the practice of safeguarding buyers of goods and services and the public against the unfair practices in the marketplace. So it is the practice, it is the activities undertaken by maybe the government or any other authorities permitted by the government to safeguard the interest of the consumers, to protect the consumers from the unfair trade practices available in the present market conditions. Consumer protection measures are often established by the law of that particular country. Such laws are intended to prevent the business from engaging in fraud or specified any unfair practices in order to gain an advantage over competitors or to mislead consumers. Lot of activities are undertaken by the buyers, by the sellers, not buyers, by the sellers or the manufacturers to mislead the consumers to protect from all that such type of activities. Consumer protection is needed. For that, Consumer Protection Act implemented in the year 1986. It gives easy and fast compensation to consumer grievances. It safeguards and encourages consumers to speak against insufficiency and flaws in goods and services. The fraudulent activities can be brought in front of the law through the different agencies of consumer protection. So remember the importance of consumer protection. Here we have to consider the consumer's point of view. Consumer's point of view regarding the consumer protection. Why it is important from the viewpoint of the consumers? Why? Because one point that indicates consumer ignorance. Why? Because majority of the consumers are not aware about, they are not fully aware about their rights, the consumer rights. Around 6 rights are there. They are not aware about that rights. A right to safety, right to be here, a right to inform, right to education, like that 6 consumer rights are there. That is why due to that lack of awareness, they are got exploited. For that we have to protect. There exists the need of consumer protection. So, majority of consumers are not aware of their rights and reliefs available to them, as a result of which they are exploited. In order to save consumers from such exploitation, consumer protection is a must in the present business world. So that is the first one. So don't forget consumer ignorance. And second point is unorganized consumers. There is no particular authority or association for consumers. Lot of associations are there for different peoples in different areas, but no association for consumers. So they are unorganized. In India, consumers are still unorganized, and there is lack of consumer organization also. Thus, there is a need of consumer protection. Only through such type of organization, the consumers' interests are protected. And another point that indicates widespread exploitation of consumers. Consumer protection is needed to safeguard the consumers from the widespread exploitation of the consumers. Now, every day consumers are exploited on large scale by means of very unfair trade practices, and the consumer protection is much required to protect them. Lot are making aware of the different consumer rights. We can protect them from these type of widespread unfair trade practices. So these are the points that indicates the importance of consumer protection from the point of view of the consumers. And when we look at the point of view of the business, why it is needed, why the protection of consumer needed from the viewpoint of business. Nowadays, business gives more consideration for the needs and wants of the consumers. Why? Because they want to protect, they want to survive in the market for a long time. So long-term business interest can be protected through the satisfaction of consumers' grievances. So it is always in the interest of the business to keep the customer satisfied. Global competition could be won only after satisfying the customers. So by satisfying the customers, they can lead to repeat sales and help in increasing customer base of business. We can survive in the market only by satisfying the needs of the consumers. So that is the first point. Business people support consumer protection only for the long-term business interest. They want to continue in the market for a long period. Another point, moral justification. Moral justification means the business people are considering it is the moral justification, or it is part of the morality of the business to safeguard the interest of the consumers from any unfair trade practices. So it is the moral duty of any business to take care of consumer interest and avoid any form of their exploitation or unfair trade practices, like defective, unsafe distribution of defective and unsafe products, food adulteration, false and misleading advertisements, hoardings, black marketing. From all these activities, the business have to protect the consumers. And another point that indicates the importance of consumer protection from the point of view of business is business uses resources of society. You know very well, the raw materials are collected from the different part of the society or the community where the business is situated. So every business uses the resources of the society, and thus it is the responsibility of the business people to work in the interest of the society to give maximum product at reasonable cost, providing maximum employment opportunity for the peoples in that locality. All that things we have to consider. That is why they are supporting, business people are supporting consumer protection. And last point that indicates the consumer protection from the viewpoint of business is social responsibility. Every business have social responsibility. Nowadays, every business people, they are showing much social responsibility only due to one reason. A business has social responsibility towards various groups, maybe a owner, workers, government, customers, everyone. Thus, customers should be provided qualitative goods at reasonable price. That is the social responsibility. So, that is why the people supports consumers protection. And also the last point, government intervention. Government intervention. Every time there will be an involvement of government in these all activities. Government will take measures to control the unfair trade practices by the business. That is why the people, business people, have to follow the rules and regulations framed by the government. If a business engages in any form of unfair trade practices, then government takes necessary corrective actions which adversely affect the good name of the organization. You know very well, sometimes the government will close the business due to these type of unfair trade practices, malpractices. Lot of organizations were closed in our community also due to these type of unfair trade practices. That is why the business people support the concept of consumer protection. And in this topic, we are going to learn about what are the legal provisions available to protect the interest of the consumers. Legal protection to consumers. And we are going to learn about around 10 different acts which provides protection for the consumer's interest. First one is the very famous and very important one, Consumer Protection Act of 1986. Consumer Protection Act of 1986. So it seeks to protect and promote the interest of the consumers. So what is the ultimate aim of the Consumer Protection Act of 1986? To promote and protect the interest of consumers. And the Act provides safeguard to consumers against defective goods. The Act which helps to safeguard the consumers from defective and low quality products, deficient services given by the business people, any unfair trade practices, and or any other form of exploitation by the business people. And the Act provides for the setting up of a three-tier machinery. Three-tier machinery means solution. So the agencies which will solution for the problems of the consumers. It includes district forums, state commissions, and national commission. So based on this, we will learn in the last video of this chapter what are the different redressal agencies available to solve the problems of consumers. That includes the district forums, state commissions, national commissions. All these things set up based on the Consumer Protection Act of 1986. So please remember the Act and the year, Consumer Protection Act 1986. So before the freedom, at the time of freedom struggle also there is an act, the Indian Contract Act of 1872, which is amended now and is still following the provisions of that act. That act lays down the conditions in which the premises made by parties to a contract will be binding on each other. The act also specifies the remedies available to parties in case of breach of contract. So it is related to every business involve a contract between the customer and the business people. So this act provides the protection when one party of that contract breaches means breaks the conditions of the contract, what to do. That is the thing. That support will be given by this act, the Indian Contract Act of 1870. The Sale of Goods Act 1930, which provides some safeguards and reliefs to the buyers of the goods in case the goods purchased do not comply with express or implied conditions or warranty. If it lacks the implied conditions or the warranty lacks for the products purchased at that time, this act is helping the consumers to get the redressal. Their problems will be solved with the support of as per the provisions of the Sale of Goods Act 1930. And another one, the Essential Commodities Act 1955. Essential Commodities Act 1955. This act aims at controlling production, supply, and distribution of essential commodities, checking inflationary trends in their prices, and ensuring the equal distribution of essential commodities to the all people in the country. So, the Essential Commodities Act, which aims at the equal distribution of all the commodities by controlling the inflationary trend, and they are helping, this act is helping for distribution of product at a reasonable price. This act also provides for action against the antisocial activities of profiteers, hoarders, and black marketers. These peoples are making malpractices in the business field, the market condition. They want to exploit the consumers through lot of malpractices. To avoid all that, the Essential Commodities Act 1955 helped the consumers. The Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954. Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954. You know very well, whatever may be the commodity we are getting daily from the shops, it is adulterated. Any small product, it is adulterated with the what called low quality products, isn't it? The act aims to check the adulteration of food articles and ensure their purity so as to maintain public health. So, ultimate aim of this act is to check the quality of the product and closing the business which are not providing quality product, and also to maintain the public health. That is the ultimate aim of the product. The Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954. Another act which provides the consumers protection is the Standards of Weights and Measures Act 1976. The Standards of Weights and Measures Act of 1976. The provision of this act are applicable in case of those goods which are sold or distributed through weights, measures, or number. So the beneficiary of the act is the ultimate consumers who are purchasing their product through by measuring through the weights. It provides protection to the consumers against the malpractices of underweight or undermeasure. Some products are, when we purchase from the shops, maybe from a retail shop also, the seller will do some practices to reduce the weightage of quantity of product. Through that, he gains the profit. So this act provides the protection for the consumers. If the seller is not providing actual quantity demanded by the consumers, can file the call by the case against that firm. The Trademark Act 1999. This act has repealed and replaced the Trade and Merchandise Marks Act 1958. So this Trademark Act 1999, it is replaced. That act replaced the older act, which is Trade and Merchandise Mark Act 1958. What is the aim of this act? The act prevents the use of fraudulent mark on product and thus provides protection to consumers against such production. You know very well, AgMark, ISI mark, lot of marks are there which shows the standard of that product, quality of that product, and level of poisonous in that product. So, if the product is not marked in a proper manner with the quality standards, we can file the case against that company. It is the responsibility of the business people to show the proper standards regarding the product as per the government regulation. So, the Trademark Act 1999, which provides the support for the consumers. Another act which come in the year 2002, the Competition Act of 2002. It replaced the Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practice Act of 1969. So, restrictive trade practices which are available in the market to control that type of unnecessary activities, monopolitical situations can be eradicated through this act, the Competition Act of 2002. That act provides protection to the consumers in case of practice adopted by the business firm which hamper the competition in the market. So through the competitive spirit, the business people will charge higher prices, or maybe they will do some malpractices to survive in the market with the competitors. So this act provides the protection for the consumers to escape from such type of situations created by the business competitors. And another act which provides the protection to the consumers is the Bureau of Indian Standard Act 1986. Bureau of Indian Standard Act 1986. This act was set up with two major activities. One is formulation of quality standards for goods and their certification through BIS certification scheme. Manufacturers, they are permitted to use the ISI mark on their product only after ensuring the quality of goods as per the prescribed quality standards laid down by the government. Every time we have to be well aware when we purchase the product, we have to check on the packages whether it shows the ISI mark. So this act also helps the consumers to safeguard their interest. So these are all the major acts which provides protection for the consumers. Another very important area in board exams, it is a repeated question, rights of consumers. Every year we can expect a question from the area rights of consumers. Here we have to learn about 6 different rights of the consumers. First one is the right to safety. Whatever may be the product sold to the consumers, it must provide safe use by the consumers. That is why we are using different warning messages on the package of that product. Also gives some booklets regarding how to use that product like that. So right to safety is the right of consumer. Consumers have the right to be protected against product and services which are hazardous to their health and life. So that is why the organization is using so many marks, maybe in the electronic devices like that. So remember, it is the right of the consumer to be safe from all the hazardous products. Another right which is for the consumers is that right to be informed. A right to be informed. The consumer has the right to have complete information about the product before buying it. And nowadays, the social media and other media platforms plays a dominant role to provide ultimate information regarding the consumers. So it is the responsibility of the business to inform the consumers about the complete information regarding the product they are going to purchase through the different medias. Another right is a right to choose. A right to choose. Nowadays, it is not monopolistic condition. Only in certain products there will be monopolistic condition. Others, lot of competitors are there. So the consumers are getting the opportunity to choose what is the product he is interested. So consumer has the right to choose any product out of the available product as per the own decision of the consumers. No need to go through the compelling attitude of the seller. We can choose any product as per our own idea. So that is the right to choose. And the right to be heard. Whenever there is a complaint from the part of the consumer, it is the responsibility of the business people to hear the rights, hear the complaints, take the grievances of the consumers. That is right to be heard. Consumer has the right to file the complaint to be heard in case of dissatisfaction with the goods or services. It is the primary responsibility of business to hear the complaints from the part of the consumers. It is their responsibility to find solution for their grievances also. And another right, a right to seek a redressal. Lot of redressal agencies are there from the national level, state level. We are going to learn in the next video. Here, another right of the consumer, right to seek redressal. Consumers have the right to get a relief or solution in case of products or the services falls short of his expectation. If it is not able to satisfy the needs of the consumer or it is dangerous, then the consumer can file a suit against that company. He may be provided with a replacement or removal of that product. Sometimes the company will give another product by removing certain part of that product. They will give a new one, or they will give that product by providing necessary services. After its maintenance and clearance of that problem, they will give the same product also. So various redressal forums are there set up by the government at the national level, state level and district level to solve these problems and to hear the grievances or the complaints of the consumers. Last right of consumer is right to consumer education. You know very well the product package or the small booklet inside the product that gives complete information regarding the product. That means the business tries to educate the consumers regarding its use or any health issue may be raised due to the continuous use of this product. All that information will be given in the booklet or in the package. So that is part of consumer education. Consumer has the right to acquire knowledge and to be well informed throughout the life. He should be made aware of his right and reliefs available to him in case of the product or service falls short of his expectation. The Government of India has included consumer education in the school curriculum and making use of media to make consumers aware of their rights. So not only the adults but also from the small children at the school level, government tries to give important information regarding consumer protection, their rights, everything. So it is the responsibility of the consumers to get the correct information before purchasing that product. And remember the 6 rights that they have while purchasing the product also. So my dear students, in the next video we will learn about the remaining parts from the chapter consumer protection. I hope this video is very useful for you to learn the concepts of consumer protection, its meaning, its importance, the different acts and also the different rights of the consumers. So please share this video with your friends and subscribe my channel for more videos. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much.